How's it? Today is Saturday, November 22nd. It's a sumo deadlift day with some bench presses. Today was pretty straightforward. I think going up 5 kilos from last week was reasonable for my deadlifts. They moved well, but it was still pretty hard. Like, if you look at the video, it doesn't look like I'm struggling too much, but from how it felt like I was doing like RPE 9. And that's not usually where I want to be for this. I want to be closer to an 8, 7, 8 ish. But I think that's okay, all things considered. Um, it was extremely cold when I was warming up today. It was in like the 40s, like high 40s. And that's never comfortable. You know, when you start moving around, things start to hurt. Like, your skin literally hurts when you touch the bar. And it just didn't really warm up until towards the end of my whole training session, temperature wise. And ever since I discovered that I can use a Normatec at the gym I work at, which is about 5 minutes away from this gym that I lift at, I've been using it before every training session to the best of my ability. So on the weekdays, they open at 7 a.m. and I think on the weekends they open at 8 a.m. And then I just need to make sure that I get there within a reasonable time so that I have a reasonable amount of time to finish my training session. And today was no different. Oh, here's my first set. Yeah, today was no different as far as the Normatec use, and I think that it has been a tremendous help. It feels like I get a warm up before I actually start moving. It's a really, really strange sensation. I don't know if that is a placebo type thing or what, but from what the Normatec does. Sorry if you don't know what a Normatec is. Normatec is a compression sleeve. It uses air pressure to essentially inflate a what do they call it, a bladder, an airtight bladder that will just squeeze on whatever part the body is, whatever part the sleeve is surrounding, whatever part of body the sleeve is surrounding. Why was that so hard to say? So they have a variety of different ones. They have ones that go from about the upper leg all the way to the foot. They have one that goes around the hips, which is basically from the lower back, not really the lower back, like right at the hip joint, and goes up to about the quad area. And then they have arm ones. I think the hip ones are really, really, really great. But yeah, with that compression, it basically, if you, I mean, you can do this if you're watching this video. If you squeeze your arm, like you take your hand, or your right hand, and then you go to squeeze your left arm at your bicep. If you squeeze it for long enough and move your left arm around, your hand is going to start to feel weird because there's going to be quite a bit of blood pressure being built up in there. And what happens is, once you let go of the squeeze, right, then brand new blood will be pushed into the whole left arm. And that is very similar to like blood flow restriction, but at a more tame level. And what that does is, when you get brand new fresh blood into that body part, you kind of essentially flush out the old metabolites, and you get new oxygenated blood to the muscles, and that usually will help with recovery. That is the main goal that is used for. It's used for recovery, but what I'm using it for is for a warm up, which is, it's probably not as common usage of that. But I think if I could use it both before and after, I would. But I'm not gonna go from the gym, or from the gym I train at, to the gym that I lift at, and then go back to the gym that I train at before I go to work. So yeah, sometimes I'm able to make it work, but not usually. After the deadlifts, I did some bench press. I actually used an Eleiko powerlifting bar today because that was the one that was on the bench press, and it was really weird. It feels very heavy. It is 20 kilos like all the other bars are, but it just feels a little bit more dense, and I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it other than that. With that, I felt it was wrong to use pound plates, so I ended up using the kilo plates. Went up to 95 kilos, which is like 209. I wanted to do 210 today, but 209 pounds versus 210 pounds is virtually indistinguishable. And yeah, I was able to do them all. It was pretty hard. I feel like there's something really strange about my wrist right now, but I didn't see it as a cause for concern for me to stop lifting. And after that, I just moved into the litany of accessory movements that I do: Chinese row, split squats, dumbbell, bicep curl, back extensions. And then instead of doing the Turkish get-ups today like I normally do on Saturdays, because I didn't do my dumbbell overhead walk on Wednesday, which I probably should have because the jerks on Wednesday were atrocious, I decided to do them today. I think if I had a choice of the two, I would clearly choose the dumbbell overhead walk. I feel like it is more applicable. It is also a little bit easier and a little bit safer to do. And I like this movement a lot. I think there are two non-barbell accessory movements that I'd like to include. It's this one, and then pull-ups. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoots.